Today's Dallas Cowboys report is presented by Roan. I'm rocking one of their commuter collection shirts, and you should too. 20% off when you use promo code CHATSPORTS over at roan.com/chatsports. Tell you all about them later on in today's show. A loaded show for you guys today. Make sure you watch all the way through. We'll talk Darius Slay trade rumors, the possibility of signing Adam Thielen, the Odell Beckham workout if Dalton Schultz is gone. The Cowboys draft picks, including the comp picks, have formally been announced by the NFL. But we begin with the news as the Cowboys are now under the salary cap. Just like that. Oh, how easy it was, and they're certainly not done yet, by the way. The Cowboys have freed up, this is all roughly here, $30 million of their salary cap this upcoming year by restructuring the contracts of Zack Martin and quarterback Dak Prescott. Dak in particular saves the team, I believe the exact number is more like $22.3.5 million. They are now under the salary cap. More moves can, I think, will still be made with Ezekiel Elliott, Tyron Smith, etc. But this gets the Cowboys under the top 51 rule. It does not limit the Cowboys' ability to do an extension with Dak Prescott, as has been discussed in the past. It is a simple restructure. It's not a pay cut for any of those players involved. It's just a move that every NFL team makes, oftentimes on the Friday before free agency, to take their building blocks and push the money into the future because they don't need it then. They need it right now. Very common move, and it's totally expected and the right move to make as well by the Dallas Cowboys. Let's get into, hey, what can they do with the money? Because that's how everyone operates in free agency, etc. The Eagles have granted Darius Slay permission to seek a trade before NFL free agency. Now, what's interesting here is that Slay has not requested a trade. This is the Eagles saying, all right, go look for one. Slay's in the last year of his deal. He's due $17.5 in new money. That's what the Cowboys, for example, would owe if they traded for him. I think it's very clear what the Cowboys are doing, or the Eagles are doing here, and Darius Slay is doing. He wants a new deal. He wants to be among the highest paid corners in the NFL. He's not right now. The Eagles have not been willing to give into his demands. So they said, you know what, Slay? Go find a team willing to do it then. We'll see if that ends up happening. Slay's still a great corner, but he's older. And he wants, I would assume, top end of the market money. It's also worth mentioning that Jalen Ramsey is apparently on the trade block right now. No disrespect to Slay. I think Ramsey's a little bit better there. And if he wants big, high-end money, that's something a team is going to have to consider because you got to trade for the player, give him a new contract. All of these things get a little bit complicated, and it could result in the value being maybe a little bit less than what teams have been thinking about in the past there. Slay at $16.7 million is fine right now, or $17.5, but do you want to pay him $20+ million? That's not as obvious from that standpoint, so it does make things a little bit dicier from that standpoint. I think the play is still great. The play is great. The fit would be nice in Dallas. Him and Trayvon Diggs is an awesome 1-2 punch. And I think maybe the trade value, much like, say, DeAndre Hopkins, is probably in that second-round range, but it does get a little bit dicier from that standpoint. Having to give the big-time deal doesn't strike me as something the Cowboys would elect to do. So what's the percent chance Darius Slay is a Cowboy? It's the pinned comment on today's show, so if an ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know what you think the percent chance Darius Slay becomes a Cowboy. I think it's pretty darn low. Adam Thielen, could he be a Cowboy? Yeah, we know how free agency goes for this team. The Vikings are cutting Thielen, a move that does not come as a surprise to anybody. He was due $19.97 million. And that's a lot. That's a massive cap hit this year. He was never going to be on the books for that amount of money there. We'll go more in depth here on Thielen in a moment. I think he can help you, but he's not what he once was. I'm a little bit worried he's kind of bordering on cooked here at this point, and I wonder how much he'll command in a relatively poor wide receiver market. More on Thielen in a moment, but first, today's show is presented by Roan. Men's closets were due for a radical reinvention, and Roan has stepped up to the challenge. Their commuter collection helps you get ready for any occasion with pants, dress shirts like I'm wearing right now, quarter zips, polos. You never have to worry about what to wear when you have the Roan Commuter Collection. Comfortable four-way stretch fabric provides breathability and flexibility so you can wear it driving into work, wear it at work, wear it at the bar, or if you're like me, the golf course, for example. The Commuter Collection gets you through any workday and straight into whatever comes next. Head to roan.com/chatsports and use promo code chatsports. Save 20% off your entire order. That's 20% off everything when you go to RHONE.com/chatsports and use code chatsports. Find your corner office comfort, upgrade your closet with Roan. Links in the comments section and the description of today's show because you got to look good, feel good, and play good off the field. Back to Thielen here, who unfortunately hasn't played that good. Or I guess well is the proper term, but, keeping it consistent there. Thielen, I do believe, could help you. But the level of player you're getting, I don't think is the same, unfortunately. I think he'd be at least your third best receiver, right? I think he's better than Noah Brown, better than T.Y. Hilton. Depending on which medical help you get, maybe Thielen's still better there. But the numbers, there's just clear and obvious decline here out of Adam Thielen, who still remains a very dynamic red zone weapon in particular. He's always been good in that area of the field. But playing with Justin Jefferson, the numbers have gone the wrong way. And yeah, JJ gets a lot of targets, as he should, but Thielen's numbers are worse than he was playing with Stephon Diggs. It's a bad wide receiver market. For what I think you're getting at this point in his NFL career, I would rather look at a faster wide receiver. I like Thielen. I wouldn't be mad if the Cowboys got him on the cheap, right? But I feel like you're getting a little bit too similar player of Gallup at this stage in his career. If you're going to add a free agent receiver, I'd rather have some speed at that front, although maybe for Odell Beckham we'll get to here in a moment. But do you want to sign Adam Thielen? Y for yes, N for no. Sound off for me in the comment section. Do you want to put Thielen on this Cowboys roster? Go vote right now in the comments section. Let's talk Odell Beckham to the Cowboys here. Beckham's having a workout for all NFL teams in Arizona today. It is unclear if the Cowboys are sending anyone. My suspicion is they are not. One of the QBX was a scout. I think it's Klein QBX. Lives in Colorado, so they could fly him down if they needed to. But it was kind of a last-second put-together thing. The Cowboys have been in constant contact with Odell Beckham not constant contact, but they've been in communication there. Josina Anderson says, one team's not going that is comfortable with what it is. And it just kind of feels like that's unquestionably the Cowboys that she's alluding to there. We know a lot about OBJ. We know what he is in terms of the upside, the downside. I think the Cowboys have a good feel for where things are at this stage. I think getting to know what the workout's going is impactful. This is going to come down to the money. This is going to come down to how long Odell Beckham wants to sign for. There were reports he wanted $15 million or $20 million. That was ludicrous asking price out of Odell Beckham. I think the Cowboys would be much more comfortable with a one-year deal. Does Odell Beckham want that? I don't know. It's staying in the two-star category because, we'll see. I am unconvinced the Cowboys would get Odell Beckham done at their preferred cost. We know Jerry has a ton of interest in landing Odell Beckham. I don't think that's changed. I think it's been pretty quiet around him because they've done so much due diligence already. They have a decent feel for what they would be getting themselves into. We'll see what the market looks like for OBJ. That will help finalize things in terms of the Cowboys' potential or non-potential interest. Some more free agency tidbits here. Dalton Schultz, I would put it at 99.9% he's gone. I don't think he's coming back to Dallas. Albert Breer reports that Schultz turned down a pretty solid multi-year offer from the Dallas Cowboys. Now, what does pretty solid mean? I don't know. Probably in at least top 10 highest paid tight end range. So this is where things sit currently. At this moment, entering NFL free agency. Now, Jonnu Smith could still be cut potentially in the coming days or hours here, etc. I would bet the Cowboys were like, how does $12 million a year sound? I would not be surprised because it is the free agent market, and that's how it works in the open market. I would not be shocked if Dalton Schultz left this offseason as at least the top 5 highest paid tight end. Not because I think he's a top 5 tight end. I don't believe that's the case. But I think the opposing teams will go, look, we need a starting caliber tight end. Schultz can be that guy. I do wonder if a strong tight end class will drive that market down. But if Dawson Knox is making $13 million, I don't see how Schultz is going to get less than that on the open market. And David Njoku had a nice year too here. It's kind of my mindset. He's going to get big money. He's going to. That's how free agency works. And you know what? I'm fine with that. This is not anti-Dalton Schultz comments here, but I've got Ferguson, I've got Hendershot, and I know it's an awesome tight end draft class. I think it's Austin Hooper all over again to me. Hooper was a very good tight end, but that's kind of what he was limited as, and that's how he ended up. What he was in Atlanta. Similar production, by the way, with a really good quarterback in Matt Ryan, other playmakers around him to an extent, and then wasn't as good in Cleveland where he had a lesser quarterback. So, look, maybe he goes to the Chargers, for example, and totally balls out with Justin Herbert. That's fine, but I think you're not getting a good deal. You're not getting good value because you're going to pay for the maximum of what I think Dalton Schultz can bring you. I would rather gamble on another draft pick and the 2 young guys at the position. Now, Cowboys free agency is about to start. The start of NFL free agency is a couple days away. Cowboys might wait a little bit longer to actually do something. But when the Cowboys make moves, and I promise you they will, even if it's not the most sexy of moves, we will break it down for you. So make sure you guys are subscribed, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. More Cowboys news to wrap up today's show. The Cowboys comp picks have been formally announced by the NFL. As expected, it's 2/5 and a 1/6. Unfortunately, Randy Gregory did not hit his playing time / production incentives to net the 4th round pick his contract said he could have gotten. Also worth mentioning that there were, outside of the Rooney Rule hirings for GMs and coaches, 2/3 and a 4th were all that were given out above that 5th round range. So a lighter year comp pick wise for the NFL. The NFL has also now announced the final draft picks for the Dallas Cowboys, barring more trades right now. Round 1, of course, number 26, number 58, number 90, those were all known. 4th round, number 129. 5th round, number 161, 169, nice, and 176. 212, remember they traded their 6th round pick away for Jonathan Hankins, and a 7th round pick as well, number 244 overall. Those have all been formally announced by the NFL. We will have more Cowboys coverage for you here on the YouTube channel, and of course on Twitter at @WhatGoingDowney. You found out maybe the Dak Martin extension news first if you follow me, because that's easier to do the tweet than film the 13-minute video. Make sure you're following me on Twitter at @WhatGoingDowney.